Yeah,
Yeah,
360.
yeah, I'm
Be like round and round and round we go. And where we stop, I'm like nobody knows. 360 degrees, 360 degrees. We give you what you want, we give you what you need. 360 degrees, 360 degrees. We tell the real truth, you know what I mean?
Hello, and welcome to another episode of 360 Degrees. What? Is that the name of the show? Yeah, that's it. Okay, 360 degrees.
You were thinking 365 degrees?
I don't know what I was thinking. It's December.
I'm not going to lie like that.
This was a crazy year, and I'm 2018 cannot get here fast enough for me to get back on track, because this year was the most whirlwindish year for me personally, career-wise, life-wise, financially, socially, mentally, ever, in a long time. Like I said, ever, in a long time. But all to the great benefit of being able to gain insight from it and recalibrate in order to be the best me I can be from here on out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's a chore, making the right decisions, associating with the right people, putting the right information out there, and just keep growing, using every day to learn, to educate myself, to get information that's going to benefit me as well as others. And don't waste time, and be mindful of my interactions, and be mindful of my actions, and be mindful of what I'm doing or what I want to do, and stay steadfast and stay focused. It's easy to get distracted. The media, the news, it could definitely distract you, you know what I'm saying? Sure, even the businesses you work for, the things that they do can definitely distract you. But, you got to have a definitive goal and then take the baby steps and take the steps it takes to get that goal. But without a goal, you're just going through the motions. You look back on a year and you be like, wow, I didn't really do anything, or da-da-da. I'm trying to be like Odie in 2018 and go on like 4 or 5 vacations, you know what I'm saying?
Do it.
Well, all right. Well, let's begin the broadcast. Odie, go ahead. Do your thing.
All right, guys. So as Blue kind of spotlight for us, I guess, we have some things to look forward to in 2018, and we have some things we definitely like to forget in 2017. So I'd like to call this episode our Studs and Duds compilation, where we just talk about the great things of 2017, things that were not so great, and then definitely have a look at what was good in 2018, things we can't wait for. So shout out to, okay, let's start with movies, because I know I think we can agree, or maybe agree to disagree on some of these. As far as 2017 is concerned, what are you thinking about as far as some of the things that looked really good to you in 2017, things we couldn't get enough of as far as film goes?
I
want to see if you guys mention what I thought.
Some of the best things was like the Me Too movement was big. I think that really brought a lot of light on, if anything, it prompted conversations on appropriate interactions between people, you know what I'm saying? And, it on the flip side, it was also one of the worst things, because it shined a lot of light on past interactions between people that, and sometimes it might have been culturally appropriate, you know what I'm saying? And yet people are feeling the fallout of it, years after some of these things might have occurred, which is killing their livelihoods and killing their careers. I mean, we've all read stories or heard information about, an actress, something, or cozying up to a director in order to get famous. And now, 20 years later, behind that incident, she's saying that she was sexually harassed, but she might have put herself in that position in order to get, a good role or a good acting gig. And I'm not saying anyone in particular, but, you got to think, especially in the rolling 60s, the 70s, the 80s, that whole culture of sex and drugs, we're in a different time now, which is fueled a little bit differently. But, I mean, even myself as a former music producer, or even as a photographer, some inferences might have been made at studio sessions or photo sessions, which could have leaned towards, oh, she's trying to, get on the cover of the magazine and trying to cozy up to me. I may or may not have played into it, but years down the line, it might have came out that I made a conversation sexually proposing her to get on the cover of the magazine. Well, no, that's not possible. I don't have say so on the cover of my magazine. I'm not the person over the whole magazine. I'm strictly the creative director. Therefore, you would have to talk to Felicia or Isaac. But, you just say that, oh, he didn't get me on the cover because I didn't do such and such. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, well, that's super specific.
Very powerful. Huh?
That's super specific.
Right. I'm just saying in general. That was just an example.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I definitely say Me Too was like at the top of the hashtag movement. But what are you thinking about, Mars? There were a lot of I'm sure political hashtags that you could think of.
It's hard for me to concentrate on the hashtags when just the words that people are saying were just absolutely stupid. And I think this year was the year of the sucker, because a lot of people on Twitter bought into a lot of stuff that were blatant lies. I just this morning, I saw Ted Cruz get on the floor of the Senate and tell a string of lies. Like if his string of lies was a video game combo in a fighting game, the other guy would have lost their quarter, because it would have been like flawless victory, dead. And like that's how many lies he strung together in one shot, and nobody challenged him. No one on the Senate floor said, hey, Ted, that's a goddamn lie. Nope. And on Twitter, it's just sucker after sucker after sucker. I had a guy tell me basically that, talking about the new taxing, which I'll talk about in the new year, he basically just said that, well, I did my taxes and I'm going to save $3,000. So maybe you should wait and see before you judge. And I was like, first of all, we don't know how much money you make. We don't know how you did your taxes because you're using last year's numbers, because the new W-2s don't come out until January. So there's so much people just spreading out bad information. But the fact of the matter is, a lot of people are just buying into it. So Twitter it's just been the year of the sucker. Like a lot of people just buying into stuff that's just blatantly, outwardly not true. So there's not even a hashtag associated with it. It's just basically, you're full of shit. That's basically Twitter in 20, aside from the Me Too hashtag, of course, is like that hashtag should have just been shut your fat mouth, because basically no one anything, aside from Me Too, no one anything anybody really had to say was all that important or true. I know I'm being a cynical bastard, but it is what it is. Oh yeah, if you're on Twitter,
cynical bastard.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Well, on a lighter note, I will say this. As far as movies are concerned and the entertainment space goes, I'm definitely going to give... I was really conflicted as far as like my studs of 2017 as far as movies were concerned, because this was a terrible year for movies. I'm sorry. Unless you were like a Marvel fan or like into some sort of like DC Comics thing, which I'm not. I'm admittedly not. I've watched like a couple of movies in those franchises, but I'm not a regular watcher. So this year really, really stunk as far as movies are concerned.
I disagree. I think there's some great...
not in movie theaters. Maybe I should rephrase. Not in the movie theaters. There was a lot of good content on Netflix, but there were not in the movie theaters. Nothing that made me say, damn, I can't wait to spend $15 on that. But I'll say Get Out and Girls Trip.
Yeah, Get Out. Girls Trip, I could take it or leave it. I enjoyed it, but it doesn't stand out like, oh, I got to see it again.
I definitely would want to see it again, because I know that there were a lot of funny parts in there that I missed, like because it was so funny. You know, people were just laughing, and it kind of spilled over into the next joke, and I missed some of the content. So girls should probably enjoy it. I hope they're going to do a second one.
This new way that people are filming to me, it's just the high definition it robs the movie of their value. It's just like it's too crisp. Is anyone else feeling like that?
You know,
I don't need to see the pimples on Regina's face. I just don't.
I'll put it like this. Have you ever seen Boogie Nights with Mark Wahlberg?
I have.
There was that whole thing, the subplot about Burt Reynolds' character who directs porn, about porn going from film to VHS. And he felt that VHS was just a cheaper medium, and eventually toward the end of the film he had to kind of fold and just say, okay, well, now I got to do my videos on VHS now, you know, because he felt that it was just cheaper, you know. And now I found out that now, what was it, not Paramount, it might be Paramount, one of the movie studios, whichever movie studio does Anchorman 2, I found out was their last movie on film. All their other films after that have been digital. So a lot of other movie studios are trying to get away from film, except in certain instances where they want to get the nostalgic people and just go toward digital. So for me,
it makes sense. I mean, film is only going to give you so much quality. Yes. Digital is as sharp as it gets, but I'm just saying it's too sharp. I do a little filmography, and we use layers to make it look a certain way, and I just think that, to me, Girl Talk looked like it was shot on an iPhone 10. That's all I'm saying. It was just that it was too sharp. It didn't look like a movie. It looked like it could have been shot, on your phone. You know?
And I guess for me, it's a little different because I watch a lot of superhero movies where the digital stuff makes it better, as opposed to watching something like Girls' Night, where to me, having a movie like that would be distracting. You know. Right.
But Get Out was definitely a phenomenal film. I'm trying to think, was there anything in that league? Across the board, I'm going to have to agree with Odie besides my Marvel, because I'm into Marvel. So I appreciated the Marvel releases this past year. Thor, I can watch. As a matter of fact, if Thor's playing somewhere, I will watch that again in the theater, because that one was one of the... And I didn't even fuck with Thor like that. You know what I'm saying? Thor is like, I mean...
it's funny. Usually the third movie in a series is usually the worst or just mediocre. And I haven't seen Thor Ragnarok yet. I'm probably going to see it because I'm off next week. So I got to catch up. I got to watch Thor. I got to watch Star Wars. And I have Get Out on video, and I still haven't seen it yet. That's a long story. I guess watching the 2 months of horror movies, it got pushed off to the side. But
I understand. I'm right there with you.
Like the first Thor I thought was good. The second one was just meh. But everybody who I know saw the third one said it was absolutely amazing. And I was just like,
amazing. They did a great job.
You don't normally see the third movies where they hit their stride. It's usually the second, So I'm excited.
Right. They make the I disagree with you. I thought the first one sucked. I thought the second one was okay. Same thing with Iron Man. I mean, not Iron Man, Captain America. I thought the first one was not that great. The second one was absolutely amazing. Was that Winter Soldier, right?
Winter Soldier.
Man, that was... I could watch that again. And I'm not even the kind of cat that can watch a movie more than one time. I could watch that one again.
I'll put it like this. I read the comics, so I know who Winter Soldier is. And I still just had that look on my face when his mask comes off and he sees it as Bucky. And I'm still just like... even though I knew exactly who he was and what was going on, because I read the comics. And that's how good a movie that was. In Civil War,
that was a great storyline, great action. I mean, I hate to say it on live podcasting or anything, but I teared up a little bit. That relationship, that friendship was real. It was just, I mean, who has friendships like that? I mean, when you would throw it all the way for your friend, you know what I'm saying?
The line that he says, where he says, even when I had nothing, I had Bucky. That pretty much just sums it all up right there.
Right.
So he wasn't going to let anything happen to him if he could help it.
And Spider-Man, Homecoming, I was a little skeptical, but gee whiz, this one feels more like the comic book than any of the other ones, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying?
I will say one thing about Spider-Man that I think was very minor, but as a comic book reader, it was actually great. Because with the Iron Man suit, if you read the comics, Spider-Man's suit doesn't have a face, right? It just has the eyes. So in the comics, if he's surprised or anything like that, the artist draws the eyes bigger or smaller, even though they really can't do that, right? But in the movie, the suit let him be more expressive as Spider-Man. as far as his face goes, because the eyes move because it's part of the suit.
That sounds really specific.
I like that a lot as well.
I know that's very minor, but
I thought it was introduced way too early in the storyline. That should have been something he got when he became the man Spider-Man, not the boy Spider-Man. See, I thought that he should have still been. But then we would have to explain, how does he get a nice spiffy suit? He's 15 years old. How did he design a suit of any degree? Even at my age now, I might can sew up a pajama-looking Spider-Man suit. I ain't got nothing streamlined like how I look in the comic. Like, how did he even come up with that?
But the thing is, if you remember in Civil War, that's what he had. He just had, what did Tony Stark call it? He called it a onesie. And he had goggles, before Stark gave him the upgraded suit. That's exactly what he had. And put it like this, the suit that he had in the movies wasn't even as good as the suit that he sewed up when he was a kid in the comics. So it was definitely an upgrade. But I mean, I saw Spider-Man Homecoming, I want to say 3 times in the movies, at least twice that I know of. And Guardians of the Galaxy was actually really good too. And Logan was amazing. And I will say this, I hadn't really been big in X-Men movies.
Yeah,
but Logan was.
Anything that when Wolverine dies hurts me to my heart. But yeah, Logan was exceptionally well done. It could have been done a little bit better, but now that everybody's under Disney, we can have the kind of storylines we need with other parts of the MCU universe, and it's a beautiful place to be.
Yep. And the thing is, they talked about it between DC. They said that Marvel is more producer driven. So Kevin Feige is, he's a huge comic book fan. So a lot of the comic book stuff that ends up in the movies is because of Feige. They said that the first Captain America, they wanted to be half in the 1940s and half in modern day. And Kevin Feige said, no, we're going to do it all in the 40s because that's where Captain America's origin lies. And then they just did the 5 or 6 minutes, after he comes out of the ice, So, and it worked out better that way because Feige is a fan. When you have somebody like Justice League, right? When you have people who aren't fans of the comic, even Bryan Singer, when he did the X-Men movies, he was telling them, look, do not. Was it Bryan Singer? I don't want to tell lies, but he was like, don't read comics, don't bring them on the set because we're doing these as my vision. And that's why a lot of those X-Men movies suck. Except for maybe First Class. I did like First Class, and I did like Days of Futures Past. I wasn't a big fan of the last one that came out, though, the one with Apocalypse.
Yeah, First Class was phenomenal. The Apocalypse one. I didn't care for that one as much, but it was pretty cool.
It was all right.
2018 is going to be really good. The Shape of Water, which came out on Friday, I'm going to see this sometime this weekend, maybe today or tomorrow.
What exactly is
that about? Films that step outside the box a little bit. That's my shit right there, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It all started when I first saw one like that I recall. I'm pretty sure I saw others, but this one called Memento stands out with Guy Pearce.
Yes.
And that kind of set me on the path of watching movies that don't typically follow a Hollywood format. So, anything like that can... and a lot of times you might see these on like Netflix or things of that nature.
Right.
But the fact that they can hit the screen, and that's what's up. Like for instance, they have a what they call a Hollywood type quality movie on Netflix coming. I don't know if it's there yet or not. With Will Smith called Bright.
It's there.
It's getting some mixed reviews.
I've
for
heard
the most part, people are really feeling it. Huh?
I've heard terrible things. It very much reminds me of, I don't know why, it reminds me of Alien. Remember the series? It was a movie.
Oh, no, you know about Alien Nation.
Alien Nation. That's right. Alien Nation. That's what it's called.
Alien Nation.
Yeah, I think that came out.
I was thinking about V. I don't know if I've ever seen Alien Nation.
Alien Nation.
When you see,
that was when they had the aliens.
You'll remember.
Yeah, that's the one where they had the aliens that came to Earth to coexist. They get drunk off of rotten milk and salt water burns their skin.
I thought that was V.
No, V is the one where the aliens were trying to take over. They were like the reptile people with the human skins. And they did a remake of it a few years ago, but it got canceled. But it was starting to get a little good.
Interesting. Okay. Well, changing gears a little bit. Y'all know I have been saying this from the early Love and Hip Hop days. I love Cardi B. He is winning this year, hit after hit after hit. Her verses.
She's nominated for a Grammy, isn't she?
Huh?
She's nominated for a Grammy, isn't she?
She is. She is. Several, actually. But, you know, I'm pulling for the Best New Artist one just because y'all already know my stance. You can only get that once. You can always aspire to get Best Album of the Year some other time, but that Best New Artist shit, you're only up for it once. You can only possibly win it once. So,
you know what?
Cardi B.
If Cardi B wins, I don't care. As long as little Uzi Vert doesn't win it, I don't care who else wins it. So if Cardi wins it, that'll be fine by me, so long as it's not little Uzi Vert. So.
I could imagine Cardi B up there thanking God, thanking her fiance, thanking everybody. I feel like it would be genuine. I think the Grammys would see a moment. Remember when 3 6 Mafia won the Oscar and they jumped up on the stage and everybody was like surprised at how like a normally stuffy ass event, you know, became so like real all of a sudden. I feel like that's what Cardi B will bring to the Grammys this year, and I hope that she gets her ass up on that stage and just shows out, because when I think of hard workers and think of consistent people and just consistent rappers, yeah, Cardi B gets it. And I could actually, despite like her trap sound, I really actually understand what she's saying. Whereas most of the trap rappers like fall into that mumble rap category, and I'd be like, what the hell did they just say? I don't know what they're talking about.
Right.
So I can really appreciate Cardi B. And Bodak Yellow is my shit. Like, that song will forever have a special place in my heart. It took a long time to get old to me, so shout out to Cardi B. And then I would say, as far as also other songs, honorable mentions, Unforgettable stood out, the French Montana song. It was like a good summer banger. You know, I think Afro beats in general did really well this year. So you think about, and then we're going to come back to that later as far as things to look forward to in 2018. But Afro beats were pretty much winning. I like the fusion of, you know, African music, kind of reggaeton, and we heard it a lot more in pop culture. Think of Ed Sheeran's hit "Piece of You," or what the hell was the name of that song? But the Ed Sheeran song, like, that song was a banger because of how it sounded, and I hope to see more of that in 2018, especially for the summer.
I mean, for
what do
me,
you got for as far as music?
As far as music goes, you know me, I'm just a crusty old man of music. I'm like, oh, that's not music. And I figure because Run the Jewels didn't have an album this year, and there isn't an R&B song that I like, I had to go with something heavy metal. I'm a big fan of a progressive metal band called Mastodon, and they released an album this year called The Emperor of Sand, and they do a lot of concept albums. So it's basically, for those who don't know, a concept album is basically an album that tells a story. So if you're an old rock guy, you may think of The Who doing albums like Tommy, or if you're a hip hop fan from my day, you may think of The Equinox from Organized Confusion, or Live and Let Die from
Present Day Logic does a lot of that. Like, I think like 3 out of 4 of his albums were or not 3 out of 4, but like he's done I would say like at least 2 out of 3 rather.
Right.
Or at least concept albums, and they definitely tell a progressive story. Yeah.
But the lead single from that album, which is called The Sultan's Curse, that was basically I played that song a lot this year. So there wasn't really
anything. What is it about?
Basically exactly as the name implies. Like I said, they tell a lot of stories, but their stories are more like fantasy based. So
okay.
They have and also have to do a lot with history. So, you know, the Sultan's Curse, of course, goes back into ancient Egypt. They had Oblivion, which for a time dealt with Russia in the 1840s and stuff like that. So it was, you know, it was in heavy rotation, you know, in my player this year, you know. And I don't like everything Mastodon puts out, but I did. For me, that was like a big comeback from their last album. So if you are a metal fan, check it out.
Okay. All right. So as far as TV shows go, Of course, even though it wasn't its first season, Insecure, I thoroughly enjoyed again this year. I can't wait to see. It's definitely part of my looking ahead. I want to see more of what Issa Rae brings to the table. I see too many parts of myself in the characters on Insecure, and I just, and like the conversation we were having earlier about how we kind of shoot things now is, I don't normally pay attention to those types of things, but I will say I do pay a little more attention on Insecure. There's something about the way the black people look on camera on that show, especially like darker skinned people. They have this bomb-ass glow that doesn't always look right. You know exactly how they shoot it. They shoot it, if you remember, like the Lauryn Hill X Factor video. She had like this blue light on her, and she was moving in slow motion. The shit was just mad sexy. That, and I think of the intro to Belly. I've never watched Belly all the way through, but I remember that intro. And the model that was in there, she had this beautiful dark skin, and the way they had the light kind of shining on her, I was like, that's dope as hell. So I don't know if Issa Rae was watching Lauryn Hill and that's where she got the inspiration from, or she was watching Belly, but she's kind of shooting black people in that same light, and it's definitely refreshing to see. And I pay a little more attention when she does that.
Go ahead.
No.
I was just going to say I haven't seen that show yet, but I'm curious to see it because it'll be nice to see. And I know I'm being very cynical here. It'd be nice to see a show where black people actually act like people. You know, I grew up in the whole Homeboys from Outer Space thing, and I still owe Flex Alexander a beating for making that show, and of course the executive who greenlighted that show. You know. And it's one of the reasons why I don't really watch a lot of shows with black folks in it, because I don't want to get mad at how we're being portrayed. But there were a lot of shows like, oh God, what was that show that the guy from Living Color was in? The Carmichael Show. You know, I saw a couple episodes of that, and I do like that show. I think it got canceled. And then of course Blackish. Blackish was really funny. Like they do kind of play around with race, but they actually make it kind of funny. Like they had a clip that I posted on Facebook where the Anthony Michael Anderson, if I'm pronouncing his name right, where he's at work and there's a little white girl on the elevator who's lost, and then he just kind of abandons her because he just knows that, okay, no one's going to believe me that I'm just helping this little white girl. And then you see his coworkers come in, they were like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm late, I had to take the steps. There was a little white girl on the elevator. This white coworker, like, you're a monster, you know?
Charlie is hilarious. I really do love that show, and I remember when it first premiered, I was like, I'm not really sure about this one. The only thing that made me give that show a shot was Tracee Ellis Ross. I love Tracee Ellis Ross from Girlfriends days, and I still am a little upset that I don't have any closure to Girlfriends, but it's fine. I've moved on. She's really out here working consistently, and she's beloved.
When that show canceled, they didn't get a final episode?
They didn't have, like, it kind of ended weird. Like, I think they were trying to get another season out of it so we could get proper closure, but it just didn't end properly. The Game was a spinoff of that show as well, and that show, I remember, went on hiatus. It got canceled, and then BET picked it up. And I think that's what Girlfriends was trying to do, but it just never got there. Like, it just ended in a very weird place. Like,
I got you.
They still didn't get it right. She didn't get it, a proper ending, proper send-off. So, yeah, I love Blackish. Part of the looking ahead scope of things, I'm definitely looking forward to Grownish, which is going to be a spinoff of that. It's going to be on Freeform, which is basically the new ABC family, and it's focusing on Zoe, the oldest child, going off to college, and what her experience is going to be like.
So and it's going to be like a different world was for the Cosby.
It's a different world, exactly. She's going off to college, so she's of course trying to figure things out. She actually does. I think she's going to college in the state of California where they're from on Blackish. So she's not going to be too far away, but just far enough away where she's still going to be figuring some shit out by herself. And Chloe and Halle, who are Beyonce's proteges, are going to be on the show as well. So I can't wait to see them shine. It's just going to be, and the real actress that plays Zoe on the show, in real life, this girl is really black girl magic. I think I can't remember what school she got accepted into, but I know she's taking a year off before she continues her education. And this girl got, she got her recommendation letter from Michelle Obama, and she's like best friends with the older daughter. So it's like she's really out here just doing it big. Like, she's intelligent, she's beautiful. I can't wait to see her on the show. I just feel like we definitely need more of those images. And I can't wait to see more black writers, producers, actors creating more content so we can get that kind of information out there, because people try to say, don't watch Love and Hip Hop because, sometimes people in the world, that's all they see of black people. And I'm just like, well, if that's all they choose to look for, then I don't know what to say, because I'm watching the same shit and I know what other content is out there. And I know Issa Rae is supposed to be creating some shows. I think one show she's creating is going to focus on, it's going to be like a 90210 type of show, but with black people. Modern day, I guess, more dramatic. But to me, I don't know. We'll see. I'm definitely here for it. I definitely need more information about that, but it's something I look forward to.
I put it like this: when you mention when people say don't watch stuff like, and I'm one of those guys, but I have to put it in perspective. I'll put it like this: if there are more shows coming out that show black people in a positive light, then I don't care about the other shows that maybe don't. Because I'm not saying this stuff doesn't happen. It's just that that's not all we are. So if all people see of us is Empire and stuff like that, but then again, like you said, maybe we're just not looking hard enough for the positive stuff, because it is out there.
But not to mention, though, for every episode of Love and Hip Hop, there are Honey Boo Boos. And what's that family? The family that plays like country bumpkins, but they were making like millions of dollars.
You talk about Duck Dynasty? With those yuppies beards and became hillbillies, and then tricked a bunch of people that were hillbillies.
Right, but no white person thinks like, oh, all white people are like this. So that's bullshit. Like, if you believe that, you want to believe it.
I'm going to put it to you like this. I worked with a woman. We're out here in North Carolina. She was born and raised in North Carolina, so she has the accent. And when she went to Ohio, to another branch of our company, like, they were kind of like making fun of her accent. Because they would figure, well, she's got a country accent, she's not as smart as the rest of them. But here's the thing. Her two favorite shows were Duck Dynasty, Honey Boo Boo. You understand? That's like me saying, I'm tired of people treating black people like we nobodies. Now I'm going to go watch Homeboys in Outer Space. You're feeding into that whole horse shit, And it kind of has that effect for some people. Like you said, some people don't see it. They don't see, like, that's how they're being portrayed, as just, country bumpkins and idiots. And they're just like, oh, it's just entertainment, not realizing, oh, yeah, that's how people see you. Even though this person who I work with, she's very intelligent. She's highly intelligent. But because of her accent, people play her down, and it annoyed her, not realizing that the shows that she loves is glorifying that stereotype, and she just didn't really see it.
All right. Well, fair enough. Well, let's see what else we got. A TV show. I guess I'll throw in honorable mentions. Stranger Things, Power. Look forward to seeing more of that. They have been the most engaged this year, as far as watching. And when I say most engaged, I qualify those things as can't wait till they come out. I'm going to watch within, a day or two of them actually broadcasting. But right. Some of that has to do with school stuff too, because, during like the spring and fall semesters, I always get behind on TV shows. And so most of these shows came out during the summer with the exception of Stranger Things. So, which I was allowed to binge watch, so that was okay, I guess.
And no spoilers for Stranger Things. I'm gonna finally finish watching it this week. I got 2 episodes left.
Right, and that's the thing too with Stranger Things. I kind of like to pace it because it's so good, but then it's like, well, damn, like I have to finish this eventually because otherwise the new season will be here. So, yeah. So I would say the two things I'm looking forward to the most in 2018 are Black Panther, because I'm going to take my good black-ass dollar to the theater, probably Thursday night, because the movie comes out on a Friday, right? So I'll go, like, to the Thursday night showing, dressed in all black like The Omen, and sit down and spend my money, and I just cannot wait to watch Black Panther. That's definitely number one on my list. It's coming back, and I actually take this back. There's three things now, because I completely forgot. Atlanta is returning in 2018, so more Donald Glover. Looking forward to that. And Love and Hip Hop Miami. The trailer just came out. I know I told you it might be painful to watch because we've been talking about different reality shows and their portrayal of black people, but that super trailer was epic. I cannot wait for Love and Hip Hop Miami. Did you watch it? Did you actually watch it, or you couldn't get through like the past 10 seconds?
That's not really my type of show, but here's the thing. I can't knock it because I haven't actually seen it. So I think of other shows like it, so that's really not fair for me to do, but I haven't really seen it, so I can't say anything.
Let me tell you something. In this particular instance, this one is so different from the other ones. This one actually looks like they put some money into it. They actually put a thought process into it. Though I think it might be more heavily scripted than the previous ones, and they don't seem to be catering to the same formula per se as the previous ones, like in New York or Hollywood, because Miami got their own vibe. They seem to have legitimate. Not only do they have legitimate stars, they have up and comings that don't seem like they're just Rudy Poots. They look like they really have something that we would be interested in seeing them get to the next level, kind of like Cardi B, I guess. And they have another storyline of somebody who's like a gangster from the Cuban descent. That storyline by itself would carry it for me.
Oh, yes, absolutely. So the storyline Blue's referring to is this girl. I don't remember her name, but she is... her parents are going through a divorce, and her parents are going through a divorce. Daddy's like, fuck your mama, I'm not giving her another fucking dime. And the mom was like, well, if you testify against him in court, I'll make sure that you're straight. And the son was like, the father was just like, well, I'm going to make you my heiress, and you can inherit everything if you don't. So now, my friend in hairstylist yesterday, we were talking about this trailer yesterday, and she said that she saw a trailer where the girl flipped the table and called her mama a bitch and said, I'm a millionaire, bitch, and walked away. So it just seems like extra dramatic and good and juicy, and I cannot wait to watch. I'll be watching probably fresh every week. I don't see myself waiting to watch this one. But there's Gunplay is up here. Gunplay is a rapper. Apparently, he's from Florida. When I visited Miami, the first time I visited Miami, I went and visited like my mom's friend's son or whatever, because he was supposed to show us around and stuff like that. So I remember him always saying, "Oh, you can go." He was like, "You in Miami Beach, but don't go over the bridge." And we were like, "Whatever. Like, what the fuck does that mean?" And apparently when they say that just is like referring to the part of Miami that like Gunplay and like Trina refer to when they're rapping. It's like the bad part of Miami, the rough part of Miami. So I guess Gunplay is from that part. And this dude, I don't know if you guys remember, but he has long ass locks and he's known for having a swastika tattoo. I don't remember any music from him, but this dude's name is Gunplay. Like, what the fuck kind of name is that? I don't know. But he's on the show, and they kind of alluded to him battling some addictions because his girlfriend or some woman in his life finds like $100 bill, and she sees it folded up, and I guess she immediately knows that he's using that to snort coke or something. I don't know. So that's his storyline. And then Trina was on the Breakfast Club the other day, and she was talking big shit, probably because she deserved to. But essentially, she said something to the effect of Mona Scott, who is the producer of all of the Love and Hip Hop franchises, had to approve who was going to be on the show based on Trina's words. So if Trina said she wasn't going to film with them, they had to actually comply. And she said, you know, ain't nobody going to be throwing drinks on me and, you know, things like that. And it seems the reason I believe Trina is because when you look at the cast, she has like 2 cousins on the show. One is an openly gay rapper named Bobby Light, and one is her, the other woman is her cousin who is married to Trick Daddy, which I did not know that Trick Daddy was married to Trina's cousin, and they've been married apparently for 17 years and are in the process of going through a divorce. So Trick Daddy's going to be on the show. That's his storyline. Trina's just going to be up there being a bad bitch. I'm not entirely sure what her storyline is, but she seems to have definitely had maybe some EP input as far as who's going to be on the show and who's going to be doing what. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. I think my favorite character, I want to see how, I think my next Cardi B obsession from the Love and Hip Hop franchise is going to be Amara La Negra. She's actually like a Cuban rapper and singer, and she's rocking a natural fro. It's so curly and good and big that it looks fake almost, but I think it is her real hair. I look forward to seeing what she has to offer. So I'll be watching January 1st, Love and Hip Hop Miami. So I don't know. What else you got?
I will be looking forward to it. I'll be looking forward to it as well. I think that's going to be one of the. I think that was going to set the bar for it. Now, whatever happened to that Houston one?
I never heard anything about Houston. I don't know if they couldn't get the talent pool right or whatever. But honestly, without Trina, I think we tried to do Love and Hip Hop Miami without Trina. But everybody knows, like, if it wasn't for Trina, I wouldn't watch. Like, I don't know.
I mean, I think she's a footnote, in my opinion. Trick Daddy's a footnote. Mm-hmm. I think that even without those two, those other storylines were so powerful. Besides
but
that
look at how many people she brought to the table, though. Like, that's the thing. Yeah. Like, she also, like, Trina was talking big shit because she deserved to. Like, she brought those people to the table. So
she did. Well, she did a great job, and she should definitely be duly compensated. Like I said, I don't. You know, me and Merk don't get too fussed about that series. You know, you and Charles, y'all up in it. But this one, I find myself interested in it. You know what I'm saying?
All right, so yeah, I mean, those are my studs and duds. As far as overall duds, I guess.
Mr. Robot was a standout season this year. I don't know if any of y'all watched that. It comes on, I forgot what channel it comes on, FX or IFC, I can't remember. No, USA.
I think it's FX.
Yeah, no, it's USA. One of the best, series that really speaks to what's going on in this world, but from a hacker's viewpoint, and it's amazing. It's amazing. The guy who plays the lead actor, if he don't play his role, like, I don't really think he's really schizophrenic or whatever diagnosis they gave him. He playing the shit out that role. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's another show to be on the lookout for in 2018. Definitely binge worthy if you haven't seen it. And I want to say all episodes are available on Spectrum on demand, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, overall duds, or also known as people taking L's in 2017, and we're fine with them going away in 2018. The movie category, Rough Night. I'm all set on that. That was the worst movie I've ever seen in my life. It was terrible.
I will say one thing about that movie, and this is just me being a total chauvinist pig. I think that Zoe Kravitz looks good in that movie, probably better than she did in Dope. Like, she wasn't really... But then again, she was... I mean, how old is Zoe Kravitz anyway? She's not that old, is she?
She's like her early to mid-20s, maybe.
Okay, but I mean, and I'm like, at least you look good in that movie. That's the only thing I could take away from that movie. Because and the worst thing about Rough Night, I like the actresses because I like Jillian Bell.
Yeah.
I like Scarlett Johansson. I like I keep calling her the Saturday Night Live girl. And then I especially like Ilana Glazer. from Broad City. So to have them all in that movie, and you think, oh, this movie's going to be awesome, and it just sucked dog dick. It was just absolutely terrible. It was basically, what did we say last time? What was that movie with,
Yeah, where they killed all the people, like where they ended up killing people.
Very Bad Things. It was like somebody said, hey, let's do Very Bad Things, but let's put all women in it, and let's make it suck. So that's exactly what happened here. So
terrible. Well, one of Empire's ratings has declined, but I still know quite a bit of people that watch it. I got caught up watching it myself, but only because I was at someone else's home and I couldn't change the channel. Like, that's it. So I didn't change the channel, and I got caught up watching it, jumped right in, hadn't watched in a couple of seasons, and sure enough, I was like, oh, I know exactly what's going to happen. And I called it, and it's just that predictable where I just feel like, they should definitely bow out gracefully. Like, they're already not going to go out on top, so they should at least go out as close to the top as they can and wrap that shit up. Empire should go away, for sure.
You know, a lot of shows kind of know, like, okay, we've jumped the shark enough times, it's time to lay it down. Like, even like something like Person of Interest, they gave him like a half season to finish Person of Interest. And I love that show, don't get me wrong. But at least they had their half season to finish off the show and then have closure and stuff like that. And maybe, I mean, I've never watched a single episode of Empire, but it's sounding like that's what needs to happen. Give them a half season, let them wrap that shit up and just move on. Because it used to be where a show could last 10, 12 years. And then at the 7th mark, it starts to jump the shark a bit, you know. And then now, if a show lasts 5 seasons nowadays that isn't a medical drama or a procedural police series, that's rare. So give it those 5 seasons, and then with Empire, are they full seasons or just like 13 episodes?
They're full seasons because they have a fall season and they come back in March or something.
Oh, so they do have 22, 23 episodes per season or something like that.
Mhm.
It's
probably
It's time to lay it down. Give them 12 episodes. Let them just finish it off, you know. And then just be done with it. Because you said, what season are they on now?
I think they're on their 4th. Because I haven't watched them since the 2nd one. So I think they're in their 4th.
I mean, no matter how much hay you feed a horse, there's only so much horse shit it can generate before you're like, okay, that's enough. So it's time. And this is coming from somebody who hasn't watched a single episode. Well,
hey, take my word for it. Trust me, you're not missing nothing. All right, so next up on my list is
Hold up. I want to talk about Empire. That guy, the director, I think it's really the director. He spun off and got that other show, and I think he's kind of, it's almost like you divide your writers, so you don't have enough good quality for both shows. You know what I'm saying?
When Timberland left, the music went down. It's just.
Oh, Timberland's not on there anymore?
No, he left.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And
I didn't know that.
You could tell he left I think at the end of the 2nd season.
See, the music drives the show. It's the music, because the storyline ain't all. I mean, the Cookie storyline, anything with Cookie in it is all that. Anything with that the rapper isn't all that, and anything with the singer is all that, and anything with Terrence Howard, you could take it or leave it, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying?
Leave it.
Yeah, they've been banking on big names like Alicia Rashad and Taye Diggs were really large parts of that the past couple of seasons.
That Taye Diggs is a cornball. You can't rely on Felicia. She hadn't had no kind of career since Cosby. I mean, come on, man.
Now,
look, Alicia Rashad is a black legend. We're going to give that woman her flowers and her respect.
She don't bring nothing to the show. Now, the lady who plays his mama, she plays bone crazy.
She looks good in those clothes. That's all I can say, because I didn't watch.
She do look good, but that's not enough for me to tune in. You know, you want to watch a good show on Fox? Well, just don't watch Fox. I was trying to think of a good. There's nothing on Fox that I watch at all.
I wouldn't say I feel that way about CBS, except for the only show I really like on there is Young Sheldon. Surprisingly, I don't even like Big Bang Theory.
Oh, he's on CS? I thought that was on a regular channel.
Nope, it's on CBS. I don't like Big Bang Theory, but I like Young Sheldon.
Is the Big Bang Theory on CS?
CBS, yeah.
I thought for sure those were on NBC. That is crazy.
No, it's always been on CBS. And because I was like, I don't watch the show, but I noticed old people like CBS. I don't know because they turn the prices right on at 11 o'clock, and then they just watch it throughout the day, or whatever the fuck, or whatever CBS is called now, but you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. It's on the same network. All right, so next up, Taylor Swift, on my shit list. Taylor Swift, she can just go away. She's not going to, but I wish she would.
No,
Taylor
Swift sells 50 billion albums. There's no way she's going away.
No, but I wish she would though. I can hope for it, and I feel like the biggest dud that she took was just that the bullshit with I still can't get over her, like her being championed as like the Nazi princess, like, and her not denouncing it, like.
Well, it's not that she didn't denounce it. It's the fact that she didn't. It's kind of like her and Tom Brady being the Aryan sports champion. And as much as I despise Tom Brady, I know that's not his greatest wish was to become the avatar of sports for the Aryan nation. I know that's not his wish, especially with his wife being an ardent Democrat and progressive. So. I don't know what to say about that, but maybe it's just the way she did. Maybe she didn't do it fast enough. I don't know, but I heard about it.
All. She absolutely didn't do it at all. Instead, she sent her lawyers to be like, oh, you need to take that shit down for bringing attention to it, to the journalist that wrote it. Otherwise, my lawyer was like, we're going to sue you. No, Taylor Swift is a bitch. Like, no. Yeah, no, she didn't do it she didn't do it at all. And she's just like faux woke, faux conscious, faux feminine. It's just faux. I'm good. Bye. I don't want to see her no more.
And don't get me wrong, if she vanished, I wouldn't miss her. I wouldn't. She'd be the only white woman nobody would look for. I'm sorry, that's a terrible joke. But because she's too overexposed. Like everybody has. At least Adele comes out with an album every few years. And then she'll sell her 10, 12, 14, 16 million and then, live her life for a few years and then re-record. I mean, Taylor Swift only has like 6 albums, but I mean, at the same time, in between, it's all about Taylor Swift. Like Adele will make her albums and then she'll live her life and you don't really hear about her until she makes another album and then sells her 16 million, But it's just Taylor Swift, and, she's just out there really just, and you're supposed to make money if you're a musician. Don't get me wrong. You're not supposed to be broke if you're making music, because if you are, you're doing something very, very wrong. But, she seems like the type of person, I saw some articles about her on Young Turks, but she's really trying to milk her fans for that money. And that's wrong, because her fans will pay it. That's the thing. Because her fans are little kids, and they will pay it. I'm a grown-ass man. You think I love Run the Jewels, but I'm not going to let Run the Jewels take my money for nothing. I buy their albums. I'll go to their concerts.
Look, every time I hear you say Run the Jewels, I think Killer Mike and that other guy. I don't know the.
That is Run the Jewels. That's Killer Mike and LP.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, who's the other guy? Like, I don't know. I'm like, let me hear Killer Mike. I don't know.
Oh, you're just like Killer Mike and the other guy. And LP.
Killer Mike and the other guy.
One of my favorite rappers of all time that no one's ever heard of, but. And his song was in that first Black Panther trailer. That was a Run the Jewels song in the background.
Oh, it was? Okay.
Yeah. But she's too overexposed, and then no one really cares anymore. And then, but you're right. The fact that she made the cover of Time magazine in that whole Me Too thing was just like, really? I guarantee you there were at least 12 other women who could have been on that cover instead of Taylor Swift.
Of course.
Easy. So I'm not missing her. I don't know why I say I'm not missing her. I've never bought her albums, and I've heard like half of the song of hers. Only because it was at someone else's house, and I couldn't change the station.
Yeah, look, I'm telling you. That's why you got to stay your ass home, control your own radio.
All right,
so That's my only contribution. So as far as studs and duds, I'm definitely looking forward to 2018 though.
I'll put it like this.
You got any duds?
For my duds, you know what I'm going to say? Justice League. Holy bleeding hell. Let me put it in perspective, okay? Justice League has so far made $600 million, right? Which basically, because of the money that they spent on advertising and all the reshoots and everything, they just broke even. Star Wars did $600 million in 1 week. So everything they make from now on is just pure profit. You know? The movie was a mess from the start. The only thing that I could say is that even if Zack Snyder's daughter didn't pass away, the movie would have still been terrible. So we can't even blame it on his daughter passing away. The movie was destined to be terrible. But you could just, it was basically, you know what it's like? It's like if you have a pair of pants that got ripped up by a dog. I know I'm making a very specific thing. But and then instead of buying new pants, you just sewed the old ones together, and you could see where you could see all the patches. That's how that movie was, because you could literally tell which scenes were Zack Snyder scenes and which scenes were Joss Whedon scenes, and that's according to the critics. It was horribly edited. It was just and you figure Thor, who was technically a B hero in the Marvel universe, outperformed Justice League. So it's bad, you know, because now it affects, and then Ben Affleck's trying to get out. So now they're trying to figure out who's going to be the new Batman, and it's just, you figure for Avengers, that's where Marvel all came together. This is where it's all falling apart for DC. So that was terrible. And then one last, and there was also The Mummy, 2017. Holy Jesus God, what a pile of shit that movie was. You know,
wait,
I saw
so
that
what's
joint, and I thought it had so much potential. But anything, in my opinion, from this time period that has Tom Cruise's name attached to it, to me, he just doesn't make good movies. I mean, you could argue me down. You could say Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
You could say this, so you could say that. But he is.
No, what about what about the movie with it was like the kids and they were like oracles and shit. Identity.
Anything that his name is attached to is garbage.
Minority
I didn't
Report.
watch any of his films. He's
Minority
a black actor.
Report.
yeah, but that was like 20 years ago.
I know it was, but like that's like honestly the only movie I was like, yes.
He's
And
the
I did
same
like
person in every single movie. He's almost like Denzel in that way.
No, but Denzel.
You don't see the actor, you see Tom Cruise. You don't see the actor, you see Denzel. You know what I'm saying?
right.
With the exception of Denzel's last movie, that lawyer thing with the Esquire on the end, or whatever it was called.
Romeo
Yeah.
Israel.
Phenomenal. He played the shit out that role. Have y'all seen that one?
No,
No,
not
I
yet.
haven't seen it.
I do want to see it though. It looks really good.
That movie's legitimately good. It's not your typical Hollywood. I'm really surprised it even made it to theaters like that, because it's not typical of Hollywood by any means. Really surprised it got green lighted, but it's good. It is so good. It's not good like, oh shit, that's my shit. It's good like more of a thought-provoking way. You know what I mean?
Right. I like the part where the what was it? Colin, I always forget his last name.
I usually don't like him, but he was good in this. He was really good in this. I usually don't even fuck with him like that. You know what I'm saying?
The part where he tells Denzel, I sent you emails, and he was like, some people think that emails go directly to your brain, as if to say, yeah, okay, you sent me an email, and now I'm here. So what? You know, I like the whole fact that he's not a people person, but is now forced to deal with people after his partner died, right? And now he kind of has to, because he was like the genius in the background, and now he has to kind of be in the forefront.
Right.
Yeah. So. But and my one last one, of course, of the duds, the Trump White House. Let me put it to you like this: if this many people vanished from a household, there would be police tape all around that house. Okay. How many people got fired or quit in the White House this year? You know, it was a year. It was basically like people had legitimate Deadpools, but instead of people dying, it was like, who's going to get fired from the White House? And every time someone got fired, I was like, Sean Spicer got fired. You can cross him off your Deadpool. You know, the Trump White House has been possibly the most dysfunctional, non-fictional White House that's ever existed. And he just pretends like he's winning. Like there was actually an article, and I thought it was The Onion. I really did. Where Trump is like, we passed this tax bill. Why aren't they having a parade for me? And I thought that was The Onion. I'm not lying to you. I thought it was The Onion. But no, it was an actual article. He was really like, this is from his aides, saying like he's bad because people didn't appreciate it more. Like his aides, it's like the Lord of the Flies out there. All his aides are sycophants, and they're basically willing to cut each other's throats. They always leak to the press, which I don't mind so much. But I mean, he fired people that he thought were leaking information, and all those people are fired, and information's still leaking. But the Trump White House, put it like this: if I pitched the Trump White House as a TV show, and just everything that happened in the Trump White House, I said, I want to make a show about this. Not only would the executives at the television station not go for it, they would have me beaten and they would throw me in a dumpster because they'd be like, that's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard of in my life. But it happened in real life and no one's really paying attention to it. If that was Obama's White House, you would never hear the end of it. So the White House, and then they basically just make America look like a bunch of jackasses all the time. So the White House is definitely my dud. Just talk about the personnel and everything, and how it's run. It's just absolutely terrible. So, but that's all I had.
Well, Merry Christmas, everyone. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's summarizes 2017 quite well. Yeah.
Well, good luck, and we'll talk again before. Will we talk again before the end of the year?
I think we will. We'll get together and figure it out.
We'll talk normally. That's when I'll talk on the air. Well, I guess we just do it for the air. We do it for the gram. Have a great holiday break, no matter what you celebrate or what you believe in. You know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying? So I have some time to relax, recalibrate. But I would like for you all to sit down and make a decision. We're not talking about resolutions, whatever they call them when you at January 1st. What's the term they call?
Yeah, New Year's resolutions.
Okay, we're not talking about that. We're talking about a definitive game plan. Overall game plan or sets of game plans, and write the steps it takes to get there, and define an agenda in getting it accomplished. You know what I'm saying? That's my hopes for what you do for 2018. For those of us who are a little bit more creative or likes a little glitz in our life, like Odie and myself. Odie, let's commit to doing a vision board and doing it via that way. You know what I'm saying?
Well, okay. I will say this, and this is a little on the personal side. I'm diabetic, and I've been cheating death the last 5 years by doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. So I figure like this. For my only resolution, my plan for 2018 is that I'm going to make death work for it. I'm not just going to lay there and just be like, all right, and death just scoops me up like a bag of garbage. I'm going to make him work for this. He's going to have to run. He's going to have to do a little bit of jogging if he wants to get me.
Does your neighborhood have like a fitness center built in? Like
No, but there is a Planet Fitness up the street.
That run what, $10 a year if you get the regular plan, $20. I mean $20. So $10 a month regular plan, $20 for the black card.
Oh well, here's the sad part. I've been a member since March, and I haven't gone. And I said I'm going to be a jackass when I go this week and just walk in like I've never seen it before. Like, hey, what's this place? Fight Club? When did this place come up? But
that's crazy. Since March, almost a year, and you ain't even tapped into it. And that's why I don't want to subscribe to such programs, because I'm like, I might do it for the first couple of weeks and then fall off, and I'm paying all this money over time. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I refuse to quit it, because if I quit, I'm never going to sign up again. So I figure if that money keeps coming out of my account, it's going to inspire me to go.
I don't know how true that is. I have a movie pass, which was once $30 a month, which is now $10 a month. So those who like to watch movies, I would advise you to invest in MoviePass at MoviePass.com, where you pay $10 a month and can watch one movie per day, every day, 365 days a year, for the low cost of $10 per month. You go one time, you've already paid for your ticket, because where I live, South Point, movies start at $13.50.
Wow. I always go matinee, so I don't pay more than like $8.50.
So you go two times, you already paid for your $10 investment. MoviePass.com, where you can get your movie pass, where you can watch one free movie. Well, it won't be free because you paid $10 for it, but one movie per day for 30 days per month. 30 movies per month, $10 in live theater experience. Man, we need to get paid for advertising. You dig what I'm saying?
I still have it bookmarked on my thing, because and you know me, I don't drive. So if I find out that the bus goes to the movie theater, then I'm gonna get
you
a
and
movie.
Carrie, well, you know, see if there should be one on the bus line or whatever. You know, there should be one. Carrie only bus so big. I know y'all got a major movie theater. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think I got a Cinnabol or something.
Yeah. So if there's one near me, if there's one on the bus line, I'll just go every Saturday. Because after the show, I don't do much else.
That's right. That's four times, which would normally cost you. You say you pay like $7, $28. You save $18. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Right. Especially when Marvel starts hitting us with the 1-2 punch in 2018, bro.
So you figure
they got
Black
4
Panther
releases next year? They got 4 releases?
What was it? Black Panther. God, what is it? Black Panther, Avengers. What comes after Avengers?
Man, that might be it.
That might be.
It seemed like it was more, but that might be it.
It was supposed to be Miss Marvel in 2018, but they pushed it back because of Spider-Man.
And they need to push that back. Nobody's looking for her. Maybe she'll make an appearance in the new Avengers movie, and then maybe we'll be like, ooh, yeah, we got to see her. But right now, I ain't checking for her.
Well, you figure like this. No one was looking for Guardians of the Galaxy either, and they made it. So it all depends on how good they make the movie. Put it like this.
You know what? And one was okay, but 2 was phenomenal.
Oh, Guardians.
Yeah.
They actually had to cut a deal with Fox for that, because Ego, the villain of Guardians, was a Fantastic Four villain. They were part of the Fantastic Four universe. So they actually had to trade Fox. Well, now they're all the same company now, so it doesn't matter. But they had to trade Fox to get Ego to use in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. And they allowed them to modify some of the Marvel characters for Deadpool, for the next Deadpool movie. So
yeah, I'm glad. You know what? Even though I don't want them under Disney, we're still under somebody else. Definitely not Fox, though. I'm glad everybody's underneath the same roof for the most part. I think there might be a few scattered ones, but it's the ones that we don't really check for anyway. Maybe being under Disney, the Fox, at least the X-Men franchise will look a lot better than it has been looking.
I will say this about that deal that makes me laugh is that they bought everything Fox except for Fox News. Rupert Murdoch still owns Fox News. They bought. So not only did they buy the Marvel stuff, they actually own, with the exception of the news. With the exception of the news, they don't own Fox News.
I did not know that.
And I want to say Fox Sports. Don't quote me on the Fox Sports, but definitely not Fox News. They were just like, yeah, okay.
And doesn't Disney have a hand in like ABC?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
So as far as movies go, if they own like basically like a 60% share of movies that are coming out now that they have Fox. So they were saying you may see some of these tickets start going up.
Well, if you have MoviePass.com.
Well, you know what? That may help them out. Sell some more memberships instead of having to pay $15 for a movie, or $20 if you're already paying $15.
Right. The only bad thing about this acquisition is that how Disney's going to get their own streaming service, and we won't be seeing a lot of stuff we've been seeing on other networks. We still with the if you watch that what is that called? The Shield. Yeah, that's on ABC, so they own that. Yeah. But our Daredevil, our Luke Cage, fuck Luke Cage. No, not for Luke Cage. Fuck Iron Fist. My girl, you know what I'm saying?
Poor Iron Fist.
What's her name? Jessica Rabbit, Jessica Jones.
I'll put it to you like this, but this is my word right here. I have Amazon, I have Hulu, and I have Netflix. Right? I have Amazon because of Amazon Prime. Right? Or else I wouldn't have gotten Amazon on its own. If your show is not on one of these 3 networks, I'm bootlegging you. Because I'm not buying a 4th streaming service. You can go fuck yourself. That's never going to happen. I have 3 streaming services. I should have all the shows. So if you have a show that's not on that streaming service, I'm going to bootleg you. I don't give a shit if your children starve. I'm bootlegging you. That's it. They got to be reasonable here. Everybody and their grandmother got a streaming service. It's like being in LA.
And with that is
okay.
Our episode on 360
He had to give me the T sign. He's like, oh, he's going off a tangent. Give him the T sign.
Yeah, I walk like this cause I'm the shit. And bitch, I talk like this cause I'm the shit. And can't no other bitch shut it down like this. So let the band play while I talk my shit. Cause bitch, I'm a cocky motherfucker. Cocky motherfucker. Bitch, I'm a cocky motherfucker. Cocky motherfucker. Cocky motherfucker. Cocky motherfucker. Bitch, I'm a cocky motherfucker. You were way too concerned with your position in the city. While I was in New York taking trips, sitting pretty. Catch vouch for that top 10 DJ Envy. You say you're making moves, but ain't really fucking with me. I took some time off just to let you do your thing. And now a bitch back and ain't a damn thing changed. I see you switch your style, look, color your hair. You're trying to find sex appeal that clearly isn't there. Me, muggy looking funny when I come around. Cringing at the fact Sadie Hawkins stole the crown. Bitches wanna see me fall, knock me off my grind. Now watch me spit my rhyme on the real drum line, bitch. I walk like this cause I'm the shit. And bitch, I talk like this cause I'm the shit. And can't no other bitch shut it down like this. So let the band play while I talk my shit. Cause bitch, I'm a cocky motherfucker. Cocky motherfucker. Bitch, I'm a cocky motherfucker. Cocky motherfucker. Cocky motherfucker. Cocky motherfucker. Bitch, I'm a cocky motherfucker. Cocky motherfucker. Miss Sadie Hawkins, it's time for a road change. Got these hoes standing in the line. Soul train. I don't even know these bitches. No names. Make these bitches pull their hair out. Road gang. I'm a sedity bitch. Run the whole city, bitch. I get that dirty money. Niggas thinking that I'm Diddy's bitch. I'm on my nigga shit. Swag so ignorant. All these hoes dumbfounded. Dumb, belligerent. Dudes wanna wife it. Chicks wanna bite it. And I might just let them and give a fuck who don't like it. S-A-D-I, 10 like Eli. These hoes stay playing, but I'm serious. I walk like this cause I'm the shit. And bitch, I talk like this cause I'm the shit. And can't no other bitch shut it down like this. So let the band play while I talk my shit. Cause bitch, I'm a cocky motherfucker. Cocky motherfucker. Bitch, I'm a cocky motherfucker. Cocky motherfucker. Cocky motherfucker. Cocky motherfucker. Bitch, I'm a cocky motherfucker. Cocky bitch, I'm a cocky motherfucker. Cocky motherfucker. Bitch, I'm a cocky motherfucker. Cocky motherfucker. Cocky motherfucker. Cocky motherfucker. Bitch, I'm a cocky motherfucker. Cocky motherfucker. Sit down, you know word around the city. Sadie Hawkins is the hottest, and you know the chicks are ditty. I step up on the scene feeling like $1 million bucks. I hate to be you, yeah, I know your life sucks. I never been a hater, get credit to where it's due for all my cocky motherfuckers. I made this one for you. You can vouch for that, or you can vouch for this. So let the band play while I talk my shit. Yeah, I walk like this cause I'm the shit. And bitch, I talk like this cause I'm the shit. And can't no other bitch shut it down like this.